What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. A lot of you guys know already that I am heading to the USA very soon to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, one of the most famous and popular through hikes in the world. It's about 4,300 kilometers long. Should take me 3 to 4 months to walk. I'm literally leaving in a couple days as of the filming of this video, and I'm very excited to be hiking and to start sharing it all with you guys. If you watched my latest YouTube video, you'll know a bit about my plans and my preparations for the trek. Today I wanted to share all of my gear. I'm getting a lot of questions on Instagram specifically about what I'm taking and each individual piece of gear. My base weight is sitting at about 4.6 kilograms, so very lightweight for this trek. And I thought I'd share literally everything that I'm taking with me in this video. It's not going to be a highly produced or highly edited one. I'm just going to go through it piece by piece. The first link in the description below will be my lighter pack gear list. So they'll have all the brands, the links, and the specific weights for every single piece of item, every single piece of gear. And if I forget anything in this video, it should be on that lighter pack list below. I'm actually going to be just going through my lighter pack list now and showing you guys each piece of gear. So if you're interested, watch along and I'll give you a bit of sort of insight and explanation for why I'm carrying pieces of gear, why I chose that brand or whatever it is. But if you want a more in-depth look at the specifics, check out that link in the description below. All right, let's get into the gear list. So first up, probably the most important thing for any gear list is my backpack. And I've got this pretty awesome little Tempo 30 is the name of the pack from Zero G Gear, which is the brand. Custom made, very lightweight. This pack weighs about 410 grams, which is ridiculous. For context, last year on Tierra Roa, which was my last big through hike, my pack weighed about 1.2 kilograms. It was an Osprey. So I've managed to basically cut down my pack weight by about a third. Which was a big goal for this trek in the US. I wanted to just drop my weight. I wanted to become a true ultralight hiker. And so, getting one of these super ultralight packs with basically no support was the first step. Now I've tested this pack extensively over the last few months and I'm really a big fan. So as long as I don't overload it with weight, which is obviously counterintuitive to my goal anyway, it should hold up very well on the trail. But yeah, that's the Tempo 30. It's about a 40-litre pack. I got it customized to extend the roll top. It's got a big mesh pocket on the front, 2 mesh pockets on the side. It's got like a running vest style shoulder strap system, so plenty of pockets all over the straps here. And yeah, I love it. It's awesome. Next up, I guess we'll talk about my tent. So we'll go through the big four first. I'm rocking the Durston X-Mid Pro one-person tent. I'm very excited. Durston sent this over for me to use on the Pacific Crest Trail. It is a very lightweight tent. Once again, I'm over halving my weight as far as my shelter. From my last through hike, I was using the Cedar Summit Alto last year, which is about 1 kilogram. This is under 500 grams. Pretty awesome little one-person tent, and it is a trekking pole tent, so completely non-freestanding, which is a first for me. But I once again been testing this over the last few weeks on a few overnight hikes, which you might have seen on the channel, and it's been incredible so far. We'll move on to sleeping bag. So I'm not actually going to be bringing a stuff sack, but I've just put it into this stuff sack for the sake of this video and not going everywhere. But I am bringing a quilt for the Pacific Crest Trail, which is also another first for me. I'm usually a sleeping bag user, but I've got the Waratah quilt from Neve Gear, which is another Aussie maker. My backpack was made by Zero G Gear, Aussie maker, small business, and Neve Gear are the same, so love supporting local, and they're making some pretty cool stuff here down under. This sleeping quilt weighs, let me just check, about 800 grams, so pretty lightweight, and it does keep you warm down to about -8, -10, which is pretty cool. So hopefully that does a good job for me on the trail. It does have a pretty cool strap system that I can attach to the sleeping mat to maximize warmth and comfort. So I'll be using it in a lot of different ways along the trek as we sort of swap temperatures and conditions. Heading up into the Sierra, it's going to be a lot colder, so that'll be interesting. And then speaking of sleeping mat, I have got a hold of the Thermarest X-Lite. So a pretty famous ultralight sleeping pad. I think it's a fairly popular one on the PCT, as with a lot of this kit is. I've ended up getting the shorter version, so this sleeping pad goes from my head down to about my knees or my upper calves, so my feet hang off the edge. That saves a bit of weight, and I found in testing that it doesn't sacrifice any comfort for me, and very minimal warmth loss. So the X-Lite weighs only about 350 grams, and that's including the pump sack that I'm bringing. This is like the inflator sack, which is also going to double as like a pillow for me. I'll fill it up with all my clothes at night for you know, comfort sleeping, which will be pretty cool, but very lightweight setup there. So yeah, that's my sleep system, my shelter setup, which I'm pretty stoked with. I'll continue moving down my lighter pack list. So continuing on with storage. As far as water storage, I'm planning to just basically bring 2 1.5 litre bottles, and potentially bring a third 1.5 litre in sections where there are longer water carries, specifically in the desert in Southern California. But pretty basic setup, just going to bring your average lightweight water bottle you can get at the grocery store. And for water purification, I have got the Sawyer Squeeze, so that will just attach basically on top of whatever water bottle I have, and that will provide my filtration. I'll probably bring some purification tablets along as a backup as well, but been loving the Sawyer Squeeze as well in testing over the last few months, which has been really cool. And yeah, pretty simple setup as far as water storage and purification goes. And then as far as like dry bags and stuff sacks, I'm pretty much bringing none. They're a bit of a waste of a weight in my opinion. Most of my kit would just shove straight into my bag, and the sleeping bag will just fill all the gaps. All my clothes will fill all the gaps. I will have like a trash bag as my pack liner to waterproof everything. I'm not going to bring a pack cover or anything, but just a simple trash bag, weighs 10 or 15 grams. Obviously not very durable, but can be replaced at any time, at any town along the trail. So that will keep everything sort of waterproof. And as far as actual dry sacks, I'm only really going to be bringing one, which is this tiny little Cedar Summit dry bag. And inside of that will be all of my, I guess my electronics and tech, which we can go through while we're at it. But yeah, that weighs like 20 grams or something from Cedar Summit. Great little stuff sack. Inside of it will be all my tech, as I mentioned. So I'm bringing 2 battery banks. These are the Nitecore ultralight battery banks. I'm bringing a 10,000 milliamp and a 20,000 milliamp. As I will be creating quite a bit of content along the trek, I do require sort of a bit of extra battery to keep my phone and everything else charged. So that is quite important, bringing 30,000 total. Also in my tech bag, got my AirPods there. Bringing a Nitecore headlamp, which is another really ultralight option, which is pretty cool. I've got my satellite communicator, a bivy stick, which is pretty cool. These guys have sponsored me over the last year or so. Love the product. Great in the backcountry for messaging home and that kind of thing. Obviously I'll have a couple cables, so USB-C to USB-C, which charges my iPhone, AirPods, battery banks, bivy stick. And then I've got a Garmin charger as well, because I'll be carrying my Fenix 7. And so really I only need 2 cables for my setup, which is handy. And I'll have a wall charger as well. I'm also going to be bringing along a microphone setup. You can see I'm wearing one of the mics now. These are the Rode Wireless Pro mics, and hopefully it's going to up the quality a little bit. I'll be filming everything on my iPhone. But bringing these mics should enable me to create some sort of better quality content, which would be really cool. I'm planning to do daily vlogs on Instagram, and also put up some vlogs here on YouTube when I get the chance to film a bit more on trail. And these microphones will be huge. Speaking of my videography setup, I'm also bringing this tripod, this Joby sort of GorillaPod style tripod. Can attach to different things. The legs bend around and that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. Weighs a couple 100 grams, which is obviously a bit of a sacrifice, you know, with the extra battery, the tripod, the mics. I'm carrying a bit extra weight than I would be if I wasn't filming, but for me, I just love sharing what I do on trail, and so that's a big part of it. What else did I miss? As far as my sleep setup goes, I also obviously tent pegs and guy lines. They weigh like 100 grams, but I've got a few extra pegs and a few extra guy lines for the X-Mid Pro in case it does get windy or really crazy weather. I have the option there to peg it down properly. Obviously you're going to be using 4 to 6 pegs on any setup anyway, being a completely non-freestanding tent, but got those as well. Move down to my kitchen, which is right in front of me here. So I'm just rocking the Jetboil Stash cooking system. Got the pot, the lid, I got the gas in there. I've got this Cedar Summit like titanium spork which is really cool. Super lightweight, and it's a long handle as well. And then the Jetboil cooker. So a pretty basic setup. I'm not bringing a mug or anything else too fancy. Obviously I'll have my matches as well to ignite the cooker. I know a lot of people on the PCT love going cookerless and going for like cold soak meals and that kind of thing. I just love having a hot coffee on trail in the morning. I love having a hot chocolate at night. Love cooking my dinners and having a hot feed, especially when it's cold out. So important to me to have a cooking setup, even if it does cost a few hundred grams. What have we got next? That's all my cooking stuff done. We've gone through my tech, which is cool. And then I guess we'll go through some of the miscellaneous items. So this is my first aid kit, super basic. I've also got like a gear repair kit in here. I've got a little AirPod as well, so I can always kind of keep track of my bag. My gear repair kit and first aid kit weighed like 100 grams put together, so pretty basic. If you check out my lighter pack list, you'll see exactly what's in each of those as well, but pretty much just basic stuff like a bandage, band-aids, ibuprofen, got some lip balm in there, some antiseptic stuff, some KN tape. Pretty simple setup. I've also got, I guess, a little toiletries bag, so toothbrush, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, sunscreen, toilet paper in there. I'm also testing out at the moment this backcountry bidet from Kulo Clean. It's this tiny little device that you just pop into your water bottle, and it is a bidet in the backcountry. So basically negates the need for a lot of toilet paper. In the US, you got to pack out your toilet paper, you can't bury it. So this little backcountry bidet will be getting a lot of use, I'm sure. Still got to get used to that though, which is good fun. Cool, that's pretty much all of my miscellaneous items. I guess we can move on to my clothing. So we can start with my worn items. I'm rocking this t-shirt on the trail. It's a merino tee from Icebreaker. Huge fan of it. I've been walking a lot in it recently, and I love just the way it sweat wicks, the way it reduces how much you smell for longer periods of time. It's warm when it needs to be, which is cool. I've got these Nike Trail shorts, which is what I'm gonna be rocking. I love these shorts. They've got a bunch of zipped pockets, which is super important for holding my phone and AirPods while I'm walking and not losing them. This is probably gonna be a bit strange, but my foot's coming up. I'm going with Creepers toe socks and Hoka Speed Goats. That's my shoe sock combo. Huge fan of both of those. I'll be wearing a hat as well, and also wearing some Icebreaker briefs under those Nike shorts. So yeah, big fan of the merino for my shirt and my briefs, and that is pretty much everything I'll be wearing at any time. I guess part of my worn clothing also includes my trekking poles. Got a set of Lecky poles here at the moment. I might swap these out, I'm not sure yet, but either way I'll be obviously bringing trekking poles for both walking and for my tent setup. And then we'll move on to my extra clothes, which will be carried in my pack most of the time. I'm going to have a spare set of Creepers toe socks, so either for sleeping or if this pair gets worn out, or swapping socks each day to keep them fresh. I'll be also carrying a set of these sort of fuzzy fleece base layers from Zero G, the same guys that made my pack. Really cool, super lightweight, really fuzzy and warm, and I'll be sleeping in these, mostly wearing them around camp, that kind of thing, as a base layer to keep me warm. As far as my next layers, I've got this pretty overkill jacket, to be honest. It is the, what's it called? It's from Columbia, sorry. The Omni-Heat Infinity down jacket. So this is a pretty hefty jacket. It weighs over 300 grams, which I could definitely go lighter, but I'm a huge fan of this jacket. I wore it in New Zealand last year. It obviously gets really cold, and this thing just kept me warm all the time. And so decided to bring it along for this trek as well. I won't be actually bringing a rain jacket, so I'm just gonna bring like an emergency poncho. As far as I know, it doesn't rain super often on the PCT this time of year. So having an emergency poncho for when it does rain will be good, and I don't really need that rain jacket for the warmth layer because that down jacket is so good. In saying that, I will be bringing a pair of rain pants, and that is mostly just for an extra warmth layer, whether it's for sleeping or hiking. Having something to block the wind and that kind of thing when I'm walking will be really good, because most of the time I'll just be in shorts, and I can also wear it to bed, if it's really cold or whatever. That's just a lightweight pair of rain pants. Then I got a few other bits and bobs. I've got this merino neck gaiter from Icebreaker. It's also going to act as my beanie if needed, so it can go over my head, my ears and my neck all at the same time. It's pretty long. I also have another lightweight neck gaiter that I'm bringing, which is just like a super lightweight one. I don't actually have it on me at the moment, but it's on the Lighter Pack list. I've got a pair of really lightweight gloves as well. These are from Icebreaker, you know, for those cold mornings and cold nights and that kind of thing. I have those there, and I think that is pretty much all of my clothes. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, that's everything. So all my worn items done. Yeah, that's pretty much my entire list. I think there are some items that I will need for certain sections of the PCT, which I do have listed on my Lighter Pack, but I don't have with me here because they're not going to be something I carry the whole time. But I'll have to carry a bear canister for parts of the Sierra, which I will end up hiring or purchasing when I'm in the US. And also when it gets into the high passes of the Sierra and it's icy and snowy, I will be carrying some spikes for my feet and also potentially an ice axe. And so those I'm also going to purchase in the US and you know, use them when it's necessary, but they won't be carried with me for the whole trek, that's for sure. Other than that, I think that's everything. Once again, check out the link in my description if you want a bit more of a detailed look at everything, but my base weight comes in at about 4.6 kilograms, and I'm pretty stoked with that. I think in New Zealand last year, my pack weight was about 10 kilograms, my base weight. Ridiculously heavy. So this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot lighter, a whole lot easier to put in some big miles. Very excited to get out and trail. As I mentioned, I'm heading off to the US in a couple of days as of the filming of this video. Follow me on Instagram if you want to follow the journey, and look out for some YouTube vlogs as well, which would be really cool. But hope you found this video interesting. Leave a comment if you did, and if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments as well. All right, subscribe to the channel, catch all the future content, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.